Hello folks, my name is Henry Rollins, and this is my new DVD. You'll be titillated and stimulated for the next long period of time watching my fat face as I bloviate through topic after topic, and to show my pure American dissenting outrage. Well, stay tuned. It's going to be a bumpy ride, but I'm sure you'll love every moment of it.
Good evening, everybody. Nice to see you once again. Thanks. I think you divined by seeing the trucks out front and hearing the rap before the show started that there's a little live videotaping going on. And well, I reckon this is a good place to do it. You're a sharp crowd. I like you people. You like me okay. We seem to get along really well. We play well together. So, it's very interesting. It being an election year, our president has to speak a lot, which is great because I need material for these shows. And every single time he opens his mouth, he serves himself up to me like a plate of sashimi. Now, making fun of the president, the fact that he can't talk good, it's like punching out an 8-year-old. Satisfying, yes, but nothing you want to make a career out of. The other day, and I say this because I know that you know what I'm talking about, he did his Let's Go to Mars speech. But the idea that we need to go to Mars is, to me, a president ignoring really unenviable, grinding, workman-like shit to do here on planet Earth inside the flat 50, okay? And so, as all of you are perhaps too well aware, the idea of going to Mars, before he even said a word, I'm mad already. Like, you motherfucker, you fucking child. Like, take care of this shit right here, right now. No, I want to go to Mars. You bastard! And so I watched this speech very carefully, just like everybody in here. He has body language. You have body language, the way you hold your fork, the way you get on the mic, the way you do anything. And the president has a few things which I think are really amusing, and he displayed all of them in the Let's Go to Mars speech. First off, he smiles with his forehead. He crinkles his forehead, which pulls his upper lip up into kind of a smirk, which just says, how the fuck did I get this job? And then, yeah. So there's another thing. There's another thing Governor Bush does. He uses the expression, U-H-H-H-H-H-H-H-H. And when it's used correctly, when it's used with charisma, it gives the air of a guy with the right stuff. Like if you interview Chuck Yeager, fastest man alive. Chuck Yeager, you're a wild man. You were one of the fastest men alive. You're one of those right stuff guys. Well, no, just had good people around me, great wife, sturdy craft, had a few near misses there, but you know, you go out chasing the devil in the deep blue sky, and you never do what you're gonna get. And you're like, wow, he's the man. But when our president does it, it just makes you think he's got like 1.2 operating software going on in there. And so he uses a lot. He also does another thing which is really interesting. When he's going to use a term or a phrase in a sentence, he projects. He thinks that since he doesn't know what it means, neither do you. And so he slows down, if you notice, and he'll nod with every word, with that kind of smirk, and the ears seem to pronate outwards when he does it. And he said, I'm paraphrasing at best, he said, our investment in space exploration has enabled us to create our global satellite telecommunications network. And global positioning system. Like one word at a time, and he's massaging it gently into your prefrontal cortex. You can do it. And 65% of America watching, but gee, global positioning system. Gee, I think that's what I'm watching this dumb fucking broadcast through. It's DirecTV, motherfucker! And so he does another thing, and he did it during the Let's Go to Mars speech. He will bust an improv. He will go off the script, and when he does this, he'll stop at some weird part of the sentence, and he'll look off, and he'll stand there for a minute, and it's like if you ever seen a Jeep with its rear wheels in mud, like, or when you download something off the internet and you have no application that can open it, and your computer starts defaulting from application to application. It's trying, and there's that little wheel or the timetable or the hourglass going, we're trying. And you'll see the president, he'll like look off. And you can almost smell lean calories burning as he's trying to pull something out of that brain. Now, when you bust an improv, you need something in there to improv with. This is where he has a problem. So the other day, during the Let's Go to Mars speech, he said, there's some astronauts here with us today, and I'd like to thank those. And you know everyone around him is going, oh, no, don't go off the page, don't go off the page. Mayday, Eagle is going off the page, So, I'd like to thank those courageous, and I'm sitting watching the screen like, wait for it, because whatever he says next is gonna be great. I'd like to thank those courageous, spatial. Stop right there, flag on the play. Give him a pad of paper and a pen. Spell it. S-P-A-C-I-A-L. Wrong! If you go to the dictionary and look up S-P-A-C-I-A-L, it says C-S-P-A-T-I-A-L, spatial, meaning having to do with space. So he says, I'd like to thank those courageous, spatial, and then he kicks all the French he knows, entrepreneurs, who are such a wonderful inspiration to our nation's youth. And then he looks off to the side for a second and snaps back to screen. Okay, I have a theory about the sideward glance. My theory is, after the president busts an improv and looks off and snaps back, it's Condoleezza Rice is right on the side. Right on the side. Just saying, keep the sounds coming, those word things. Because the English language seems to be this thing that pipes through him, but is yet never really absorbed by him. And so he said, I'd like to thank those courageous, spatial entrepreneurs. I had a witness with me. I looked over and said, did he just say spatial entrepreneurs? And he went, yeah, he did. What the hell are you talking about? Presumably, that's someone who buys and sells quantities of the heavens. Is everything for sale with this guy? Legislation seems to be. Just for the fact that the president says something like spatial entrepreneurs, it's not all that bad. I just wish that the president was on a closed circuit broadcast system so no one outside of America would have to hear him. Just so it could be kind of our little dirty secret. Because I think the president of the United States should be an eloquent motherfucker or motherfuckeress. You know what I mean? Someone who can articulate themselves because we are looked at by all other countries, and they are very wary of us, or they just hate our guts. And so you don't want a president who can't pronounce anybody's name if they're from Poland, and doesn't like taking meetings that last longer than half an hour, and doesn't read the newspaper, and doesn't watch the news, and didn't even watch the airstrike last March when we had a preemptive strike against this country called Iraq. And so I hold the president to a pretty high standard, higher in a lot of ways than I hold myself. Perhaps not on a higher moral standard, but at least I want him to be one smart person, or, you know, she should be, or he or she, whatever. I'm just saying, this person should be eloquent, should be picked out of billions, not just handed the job by worthy investors, okay? And so, and I am a vain, self-conscious motherfucker. Basically, I always say, well, does my ass look fat in the State of the Union address? I mean, that's how I am. So let's not talk anymore about courageous spatial entrepreneurs. There was something that was way more loaded, the infinitely more prepared for and far better written State of the Union address from several weeks ago, which was a very ambitious State of the Union address because it's his 2004 campaign State of the Union address where he's plotting out what he wants to do and where he wants to take us if he ever gets elected again. And so he said a few things that were so ripe and off-smelling to me that I watched the State of the Union address 2 times, and then I downloaded it from WashingtonPost.com because he said a few things that I thought I was tripping when he said it, but I wanted to get the exact quote. He said, and I'm paraphrasing at best, "It is also important for us to unleash the compassion, to strengthen our communities by unleashing the compassion of America's religious institutions." Whoa! First off, the idea of any kind of compassion, that when it is set loose, it is unleashed. Do you remember when you were very young, you were very small, you were dragged to some relative's house for some holiday occasion, and some huge bosomy relative swept you up into her powdered huge bosom and smothered you? Why? Because she loves you. It's so nice to see you. And you can hear the ocean as you rock back and forth in these warm, talcum-y pillows of 98.6. You're like, oh, it's so nice. And then her counterpart comes up, this hideous, ill-smelling man who comes up with his brown iguana tongue and goes, "Come here, you." He's got like whiskey, cigar, old man spittle going down your cheek. And you know at age 4, this is fucked up. And so anything that has anything to do with compassion and the unleashing of it, I'm a little uptight anyway. But when you want to unleash the compassion of a religious institution, institution is a scary word. Religious institution, the idea for me is personified by, take a man, 6'5", 270 pounds of lean muscle mass, shave his head, take his eyebrows off, wax every hair on his body, and put him in a thong, and have him chase you down the street. Hey, you, me? Yeah, come here! Come here! I'm gonna love you! No! Put the compassion away! So, the idea of unleashing the compassion, and what does that mean? That means he's giving hundreds of millions of dollars to religious, faith-based organizations. Read that as Christian organizations. And I think if you want to donate money to a Christian organization or any other religious organization, I say run, do not walk to that. Great, just don't do it with my tax dollars. That's my beef with it, okay? And I have no problems. I have no problems with Christianity or Christians. It's the Pat Robertson people who scare me. It's the Jerry Falwells who scare me. It's the institutions that are creepy. But Christians, I got no problems with Christians. If you're a Christian in here, we're cool, okay? You Catholics, I know that all of you aren't pedophiles. I know that. Well, no, seriously. Christians, Catholics get a very bad rap because there's a handful of pedophiles in there, and pedophilia freaks people out. And so it only takes like a handful of pedophiles to ruin the party. But I have to think that 99.99999% of Catholics are okay, and I have nothing against you. I dig the Pope because he reminds me of me. Come on, he tours, he gets out there, he digs people, he gets out there and he communicates. And he will not quit. The Vatican wants him to step down. He goes, no. And if you want the wisdom, you have to wait. You know, he's an old man. He's like, 117. They should just give him a good stick of dope and a lap dance and send him on his way. But no, he will not quit. And they wheel him out in the Pope Mobile, which is a horrible thing to do to the English language, to annex those two words together. And they send him out in the bulletproof golf cart to the middle of some huge stadium. And he's asleep. He's like all passed out. And some guy comes over like, you're on. 85,000 people, notepads out waiting.
Be nice to one another. And be good. Violence is bad. I love all of you, except for you queers.
And that's where I have the problem. Also, another thing about Catholicism, and this could be my ignorance to it, and if I'm wrong, don't correct me here and now. Just kind of pity me. Well, I just heard that if you're Catholic and you jack off, you go to hell. And if there's a hell for masturbators, straight to hell I will go. They will not even wait for my last phlegmy breath to go out of my fragile bird-like lungs. They're probably digging the tunnel for me now so they can take a cannon and shoot my corpse southwards. I've had this vision for a long time of jack-off hell. It's for men only. Women escape hell because I think your hell is here because men are just always humping on your leg and stuff. And so you endure year after year of that. So there's a special heaven for all of you, but men, we're just a bunch of dicks. And so, and to me, jack off hell is a place the size of a Walmart, and it's all men, and somehow it's like 114 degrees, it's excruciating, and it smells of cologne, hair gel, and man sweat, and all you feel is arms and shoulders next to yours, and elbows hitting your ribs, and everyone's in a suit for some reason with their ties at half-mast, like they just got off work at Wall Street, and the elbows is every single guy next to you. And all you hear is, "You're here too? You're here too?" Because every single guy in jack off hell, you recognize. It's the guy who cuts you off in traffic. It's the guy who didn't know how to go through the metal detector at the airport. It's the guy who took your girl, sued you and won, fired you, beat you up in the parking lot of the high school dance, and there you are forever. Fuck! And that's why I try to be cool to every single guy I meet. Because I know years from now, I'll be seeing you. Let me tell you a quick story about an absolutely insane conversation I had, absolutely surrealist, absurdist conversation I had of, in all places, Southern California, Hollywood, to be specific, where, in my opinion, the intellect and culture has gone to die. And I've been living out there for the last quarter century between tours, and I have no good excuse as to why I live there. It's just where my cum-stained futon washed up many years ago. And I know it sucks. You know it sucks. Why am I there? I suck. And as some of you know, I'm a person from the East Coast. I'm from Washington, D.C. And some of you have been to the East Coast, and we're all the same out there. We talk too fast, we talk too much, way too many opinions, we drink too much coffee. We drive people nuts. But if you turn us loose amongst ourselves, we're just fine. If you walk down the streets of Manhattan, New York, or Washington, D.C., it's just a bunch of people going, no, fuck you, and we get along fine. But when you take that, if you take me and drop me into Hollywood, California, I come off as someone who makes his own crystal meth in his bathtub and shows early signs of Tourette's. So there I am in this city that never moves fast enough for me, and I come off like such an asshole. There's a kind of a health food grocery store I buy food at, and every single time I'm in there, the nice grocery clerk guy always wants to talk to me, and he talks to me between items. He swipes over the thing, and he goes, "So hey man, you know, you have a lot of red, you know, on your aura today, man." I'm like breaking out in a fucking sweat, like. How are you, man? I mean, not like the persona of you. Like, how are you, man? I'm like, you motherfucker. I will eat your fucking face if you don't hurry the fuck up and bring out my shit. Everyone in the grocery store is like, whoa. All I want is a Panzer to drive in traffic because I actually want to go from A to B. I don't want to lollygag. I want to go on the way, but no. So I'm very angry when I'm there because there's no one to talk to. And if you're a guy who likes girls, you want to go out on a date, and sometimes you want a real date. You don't want to abduct these chicks like you're used to doing. You know, you're tired of roofies and duct tape every Saturday night. You want a real date. You want a real date. And so I'm one of those horrible men who judges women by the most shallow criterion. Don't ever try to judge a woman or anybody by asking them their top 3 records, top 5 foreign films of all time. That's that high fidelity, stupid list shit that some guys do. And I can't be alone. There's at least one moron in here who does that with women. And women have seen everything come by 80 times. And if you say, so what's your top 5 films? The girl goes, oh God, he's one of those guys. I can't wait for this to be over. He's not even getting a hand job. I am out of here. And so every once in a while, I find the girl, we're out on the date, we're driving down the road, and I'm driving, I go, do not ask, don't do the list thing, just have a nice conversation, become interested, find something interesting to talk about that we can both talk about. Don't dominate the conversation, don't spin the conversation into things that you know so much about so you can preach stentorian from the mount. Come on, be open, be available. I'm driving, my will is breaking down, and finally, fuck it, I really need to know. So what are the 3 CDs in your changer right now? Well, I'm really listening to the new Nickelback. Get the fuck out of my car! You suck, whatever! You suck, whatever! I want a woman who can sit me down, shut me up, tell me 10 things I don't already know, and make me laugh. I don't care what you look like. Just turn me on. And if you can do that, I will follow you on bloody stumps through the snow. I will nibble your mucklucks with my own teeth. I will do your windows. I will care about your feelings. Just have something in there. I want one of them readers, that's what I want. I want a reader. And so you go out with the girl and you're driving. So what are you reading right now? And all too often, well, I'm not much of a reader. I'm not much of a dinner buyer. Get out, get out, get out, get out. But we're lost in the stucco sprawl of LA. I don't care. But every once in a while, you meet the one who reads. So what are you reading? He asked. The date killer question. So what are you reading? Well, I'm in the middle of a book right now. Oh my God, she's in the middle of a book. Be still, my beating heart. So what are you reading? He asked expectantly. Nerves tingling, body a quiver. Well, I'm in the middle of this Harry Potter book. Don't be an adult woman and read a fucking child's book in my car. Get the fuck out! So, it's obvious a guy like me is gonna live alone for the rest of his life. At least I know it. So I've kind of found that A&E History Channel person that lives inside. And when I'm between tours living in the city of horrors in Los Angeles, I just kind of hole up on my own. And by 8 p.m., I'm just in front of the computer on Google or eBay, buying things I don't need and finding out 80 more things about Che Guevara I didn't know before, and hoping that History International has a 12-hour documentary on the Spanish Inquisition and not just a paltry 3-hour one. And that's the kind of miserable asshole I am, so no one calls, no one comes over, but I have really refined my jack-off technique. What else are you gonna do? It gets late at night, a man wants some loving, and if there's no one around, you just have to love yourself. I love you too. So, what are you gonna do? Now, knowing is one thing that perhaps some of you don't know about me, or maybe some guys have this thing too. I have a particularly, I don't want to say violent, I have a particularly enthusiastic post-ejaculatory refractory period. So I utilize a crash helmet. Yeah, and this is a weird thing. I put the crash helmet on, and upon cinching up the chin strap, involuntarily, tears start to stream down my face. And when I put the bite plate in, I start to sob uncontrollably. And with the first stroke, it's like, and then I don't remember anything else. I don't remember what the fantasy was or anything. And I'm so happy I found out about the crash helmet. I tend to wake up several hours later in a different part of the house than where I started. 2 times, super embarrassing, I woke up in my driveway. naked, save for the crash helmet. This second time was extremely embarrassing because I was in the fetal position, sleeping it off. And I woke up and there was a FedEx envelope next to my face. With a post-it on there that said, I signed for you, FedEx man, because I didn't want you to touch my pen. So I do that, and now you know. So basically what I'm saying, there's really no one to talk to. There's really no conversation to have with anybody, so you find yourself kind of lonely and starved for real intellectual engagement. But yet, I had this fascinating, surreal conversation a few weeks ago in Los Angeles. I was at the office, pretending to work, and road manager Mike was preparing a tour that came rumbling through your town a few months ago. It was the Rise Above tour benefiting the West Memphis 3. Thanks a lot. So we're getting this tour ready, and we have shot a video for this album that we did 2 years ago called Rise Above. And we shot a video for the song Rise Above, which is a Greg Ginn composition, exceedingly amazing. It could be the next national anthem. It's about a minute long. It's one of the greatest riffs, one of the greatest lyrics. It's a perfect song. Mike, the road manager at the office, asked me about the video. Okay, so I go running around the office. I can't find the video. So I remember the video's at my house. I go, Mike, I'll go get the video. I'll be right back. So I get in my car. I go around the corner up the hill to my house. I walk into my house, and I look out the back door. It's made of glass. And I see a man, an adult man, about 5'7", white shirt, brown pants, brown shoes, with surgeon's gloves on and a tool. And he seems to be doing surgery on my windowsill. And there's a 1.5 second, what the fuck, be very still type of thing you go through. You're like, whoa, whoa. Am I dreaming? Am I high? Or is there a man with surgeon's gloves and a tool operating on my windowsill? You go into total denial mode. What is he doing? Perhaps he's my window guy? Do I have a window guy? I have window people? Whoa. Is he from Homeland Defense?
Just checking for Al-Qaeda cells. Sometimes they burrow in the caulking between the pane and the sill, sir. It's all part of the Patriot Act, 58,000 words of Kafkaesque legalese that not even the president can get through, don't worry. And all these obtuse terms means we just get to put our hands up your ass anytime we want. So just go on and be very afraid of us. We're the government. Fuck you.
So I stand there going, what do I do? Do I leave? Do I get on the phone? What do I do? And in that moment of me going, the man stops his work, puts the tool down, looks up, sees me. A beautiful smile goes across his face, and he waves, and he says, "Hey, how are you?" And the most insane conversation I've ever had in Southern California starts right at that moment. Now, being somewhat a polite lad, not that I've displayed any of that so far this evening, I am somewhat polite. So when he said, "Hey, how are you?" I stupidly answered back, "Fine, thank you." And then I asked him a stupid question, "How are you?" And then a stupider question, "May I help you?" What am I thinking? The man points to a house next door to me, and he says, your neighbor let me in. The neighbor is dead, 97 years of age, is a pretty good achievement, I think. So what are you doing? And he went, "Well, you have a front door buzzer, right?" I went, "Front door buzzer?" It's like one non sequitur weird thing after another. This conversation is now going into its second utterly surreal minute. I go, "Door buzzer? Neighbor? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?" He's like, well, you have a neighbor, and there's a buzzer. No, forget the neighbor, forget the buzzer. Okay, I'll tell you what you're doing. He's like, "Oh, okay, maybe he needs help." You know, remembering his motivation in this scene. And so I said, "You're a burglar. You're breaking into my house." And he went, "No, no." Now, when you call someone a burglar, that's some pretty heavy shit. You know, you better be able to back that up. So I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." "Then what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?" And then he said something totally insane. He said, "Let me in. Let's sit down. Let's talk about this. I don't have a gun. Be a man." Be a man? Let you in? You don't have a gun? What, if I don't let you in, I'm a pussy? Is that it? You're like pushing my ever-decreasing sense of masculinity. He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, you what? Ah! I said, let's see some ID. He's like, I don't have to show you ID. He doesn't. Fuck. I go, how about this? I'll show you my ID and I'll call up the cops and they'll come over, they'll show you their ID and we'll get in the backyard and we'll have a get to know each other party. What do you think about that? He's like, no. I go, then tell me what you're doing at my window with surgeon's gloves on. He goes, I work for the cable company. I go, really? I don't have cable. And then he asked me the last utterly surreal question. He said, well, would you like me to leave the same way I came in? This is you can answer either yes or no. It's a yes or no question. What if I say no? No, you can't leave the same way you came in. What does he do? Put on his rocket pack? Okay, then. Does he go back into the lamp that he came from? I'll just wait here until you rub the lamp. Does he say, I like my chicken soup with extra salt and I want my latte and make it snappy. I'm moving in. What if I say yes? Does he say, I am Hassan? I don't know. So I just, with my eyes riveted on his midsection to see if he doesn't go for a handgun, I just kind of go, well, okay, go for it. He goes, fine, then I'm leaving. He's totally indignant that I'm kicking him out. He's like, fine. Boom, he's gone. So I run through the house, I grab the phone, punch in 911, and I run to the driveway to see this guy $6 million manning it down the road. Gone. The cops answer. I go, hey, okay, you know my name and address because you get it on the computer when I call. Okay, here's a guy. Tried to break into my house. No hair, white shirt, brown pants, brown shoes, running like a motherfucker down the road. Get him. And they go, okay. And I hang up the phone. I get an idea. I call Mike over to the office. I go, Mike, check it out. Go outside right now, see if you see a guy about 5'7", no hair, white shirt, brown pants, brown shoes, running like a motherfucker. He's like, I do. I see a guy, no hair, white shirt, brown pants, brown shoes, running like a motherfucker. I go, that guy tried to break into my house. He goes, I'm on it. So there goes Mike, like a shot, running west on Hollywood Boulevard. I get another idea. I call the cops back. Hi, I'm the guy who called about the guy. Check it out. Now there's two guys. Okay, first guy, no hair, white shirt, brown pants, brown shoes, running like a motherfucker. Second guy, big fella, dark hair, black shirt, black pants, holding a cell phone. First name Mike. Answers to Mike. Don't shoot him. Shoot the other guy. And by the way, here's his phone number. Give him a call. They do. And with Mike's coordinates, that's how the police helicopter that went right over my roof knew where to go. I hear the sirens, I hear the chopper. It's like LA, the video game. It was amazing. So we have air surveillance, foot pursuit, 3 cop cars are descending upon the scene. The guy goes into an apartment parking lot structure. Poof, he's gone like Houdini. Never saw him again. Within a few minutes, Mike, 3 cop cars and 6 cops descend upon my house. Mike got a free ride because he fit the description of this Mike character who I called in. And so all of a sudden, I'm in my living room with 6 huge policemen holding notepads. I involuntarily have my hands up and my legs slightly spread. And they're looking at me, they're like, sir, we just need a statement. If you can describe the man and show us where the break-in occurred, then we want to show you how to preserve a crime scene because we need to have the guy come over and take fingerprints, so we don't want you contaminating the area. I am not obstructing justice. Oh, okay, sir. Well, that's fine. Well, that's obvious, but you called us. You don't need to put your hands up. I don't have a gun, okay? I do not have a gun. I just want to go for my proof of insurance in my glove compartment. I have no sharp objects, controlled substances, or anything that can be seen or assumed to be lethal. I am totally harmless. That's fine, sir. They look at Mike. What's his problem? I don't know. Sirs, with your permission, I would like to cross my ankles, get on my knees, interlace my fingers behind my neck. I would like you to cuff me. And then, just like, let's just do the whole pepper spray taser thing. Let's just get it over with. The anticipation is killing me. They go, sir, we have no intention of handcuffing you and giving you a pepper spray or taser. We just need a description of the guy. Okay, whatever you say. Mike, you're my witness. Okay, and so they took my statement. They were actually very polite. And they left. And we never caught the guy. But the conversation was great. If only it could have been a hot chick in a burglar outfit, like a little kitty cat burglar outfit. breaking in looking for Kafka books. Don't go. Let's read this one together. So, that happened. Here's another thing that happened. As you know, like I said, I live in LA, but I don't like it. It's a vain city where people go to become something, but they usually just become strippers or porn actresses, or they become involved in some scumbag part of the entertainment industry. And it's very Joan Didion-esque, and it's very sad. And every once in a while, you can have an utterly insane evening. And a few weeks ago, I was home. It was Sunday night around 8 p.m., and the phone rings. And my phone does not ring very often. I get all my phone calls at the office. I don't know many people. I just do some business, and then people leave me alone. I'm like Walter E. Kurtz at the end of the Nung River, just kind of waiting for Willard to come and take me out. Well, the girls at the office say I'm a jack-off who's lost the plot in middle age, but I like the whole Kurtz line of bullshit myself. And so I don't get many phone calls, and usually around 7:45 p.m. every once in a while, I will get a phone call at the house, and it's telemarketer person. And there's that 5-second gap before the voice comes in, and I know some of you have been very hostile to some of these telemarketer people with good reason. They piss you off. It's 8 o'clock, it's 7:50 p.m., your first steaming shovelful of food is hurtling towards your mouth, and the phone rings. And it's a guy or a girl trying to sell you something. The nerve. You got up at 6:30 in the morning, you battled traffic, went to a job you hate and a boss you can't stand and a workmate you want to strangle. You went back through traffic, got in an argument with your wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, and now you're eating this food and some bastard is calling you. And you go, where the fuck do you live? I'm gonna break your goddamn neck. Call me again, I'll kill you. I'll kill you! I can't do that. I can't do it. I feel so bad for that guy or that girl. I just envision the hellish job they have. They're in a sea of cubicles with some ancient Radio Shack computer screen with the amber type blinking at them. And it's nothing but a line of numbers and names. And they're there with a headset and a cup of coffee. And they keep punching in numbers. And all they hear is, no, I don't want any. Fuck you. I hate you. I want to kill you. No, no. Rejection, rejection, rejection. And all of you have known rejection in your time. And it sucks. I can't do that to them. I just feel bad. I just hope they someday get a better job where they don't hear no fuck you so much. But if you call my house at that hour and you're trying to sell me something, you're like the fly, you've landed on my web, and I will fuck with you. I won't be mean, but I'll fuck with you all the same. And so on a Sunday night around 8 o'clock, the phone rings, and usually when it's telemarketer guy, you pick up the phone, there's that gap. You're like, hello? Nothing. You're like, okay, here we go.
Good evening, Henry Rollins. I'm a young man. I'm calling you from the Los Angeles Times, and for the next 6 weeks, we'd like to give you free delivery of the Los Angeles Times 6 days a week with the extra Sunday, fantastic Sunday newspaper for free to get you interested in checking out the Los Angeles Times that now has 30% more color photos. Whoa, 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 hold on a second. Yes, sir. You know my name. What's your name? Well, sir, my name isn't important. What is important is 6 free weeks of the Los Angeles Times. Whoa, 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 whoa. You called me Mr. Rollins. Call me Henry. Okay, Henry. Fantastic. Let's talk about the Los Angeles Times. No. I'd like to know your name. Well, okay, very well, sir. My name is it's Peter. Peter is my name. Peter. Do they ever call you Pete? Well, sure. Some people I know call me Pete. My parents, my brother-in-law calls me Pete. That's cool. Pete, do you work out? Well, I got a membership for a Christmas present a year ago to Bally's, and I went for like the first 6 weeks like a maniac, and then like I hurt something in my shoulder, and now I go back like once a month. But I'm always working too much, or it's raining and I can't get out there. But what do you care about? Well, look, sir, I just want to tell you about the Los Angeles Times. So Pete, I can call you Pete. Okay. So you work out a little bit. Where do you live, Pete? I live in Los Angeles. You know that. You have my number. Is this job being rotated out of some hub? Are you calling me from Dallas, the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Atlanta, North Carolina, Minneapolis? Or are you calling me from Los Angeles? Are you an LA resident, Pete?
Sir, yes, I live in Los Angeles. Well, I live in Los Angeles too. When do you get off work? Well, sorry, I hardly think that. Pete, it's Henry. When do you get off work? Well, I just started a shift. It's 12 hours. I'll be getting off work at you're not going to believe this. I'll be getting off work tomorrow morning. Pete, you come off work, your neck hurts, your shoulders are tense. You want nothing more than a cold beer and someone to rub your shoulders and rub your neck. Well, it's not so bad. Pete, you have my address, right? Pete. Pete, can I tell you something? Pete, I like a man who's thick, uncut, and hairy. Pete, are you still there? Yes. Call me Henry. Pete, call me Henry. Pete. Pete. Pete, I'm naked. Pete, hold on, Pete. Don't hang up, Pete. Don't hang up. Don't hang up. Don't hang up. Pete! Oh, Pete! Pete, are you there, Pete? They never call back. Ever. So anyway, the phone call came in on a Sunday evening, so I'm like, okay, hello, waiting for it, and a real voice comes on. Hey, Henry, it's Adam Rifkin. How you doing? Adam Rifkin, great screenwriter, a really funny guy. He's like a low-budget Lenny Bruce, or he's like kind of hanging out with a clone of Groucho Marx. He's really funny, and he's really weird and really awesome. He's totally brilliant. And he directed me in a movie called The Chase many years ago, so he's a totally subversive, crazy little motherfucker. Yeah, good man, solid guy. So he calls me, he's like, hey, Henry, listen, I got free tickets to go see the premiere of Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill. How about you and me? We'll go to the film tomorrow night, Man's Chinese Theater. What do you say? Free film? Let's go. And so he comes over the next night, and we drive in my car over to the Man's Chinese Theater, and we park. And we have these two huge tickets that say, admit one to Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill in huge letters. And we go walking up to the front of Man's Chinese Theater. Huge security guard goes, whoa, where are you scumbags going? And admittedly, we look a little low rent. I usually have this windswept bird's nest of gray hair, 4 or 5 days of beard growth with food objects swinging from it. Not that I'm slovenly, but I like to multitask. I like to work and stay working. So I work, I eat, I work, I eat. And my gray t-shirt usually has so many holes in it from the salsa burns that have gone through because of the heat of the salsa, which I ingest. It now looks like an army of moths has attacked me. And the pants look like they've been slept in. They probably have. And there's evidence of great inspiration here and there. What can I say? What are you gonna do? So we look a little, we're under 6 foot. We look a little, So the guy goes, whoa, where are your shit heels going? You can't panhandle in here. And we hold up our tickets. No, we have tickets. He's like, okay, hold on a second. Yeah, I've got 2 scumbags at the gate. Oh, no, don't. You'll see them when they walk in. Yeah, just make sure they don't touch anything. Okay. All right, you guys can go in, but watch your ass. Okay. Now, there's 2 ways to walk into the Hollywood premiere. You can go in the regular way, or you can go in through the red carpet. And so we want to go in the regular way. We want no part of the red carpet. But we accidentally zigged when we should have zagged, and we found ourselves on the red carpet. Look down, a sea of crimson. Ah! Walking backwards, getting away, too late. Some reason they all recognize me. Henry, over here! Henry! Henry, like, yes? What? Huh? What? Huh? It's intense. It's intense, like trying to lick the milk off Martha Stewart's mustache intense. It's completely intense. If the strobe, if the flash bubbles were bullets, it would be like the last scene of Scarface. It's gnarly. I'm like, Poor Adam. He's never had a photo taken of him in his life. He's a screenwriter. He lives underneath his desk with only the glow of his laptop to keep him company. Henry, what's going on? They're taking photos. I'm perspiring. Help me. What's going on? And I see all the photographers. That must be his homosexual lover. Like, oh, no, you don't. I go, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Adam Rifkin, the man who brought you Small Soldiers and Mousetrap and The Chase. Ladies and gentlemen, writer for DreamWorks, Adam Rifkin. And they're like, oh. Adam. Like, what? You don't know me? How do you know my name? You stop it, cut it out. I'm perspiring. I have the hives. So what are you doing to me? Come on. One thing you should not do when they're taking 80 photos of you a second is talk, dance, and say, we're bullshitting ourselves into the film. Because every picture that comes out, you either look tired, high, or mentally challenged. And so every photo, we're like, we suck. And so we run this gauntlet of media. We bang a left, and we're almost into the theater when this woman with huge hair, unnaturally white teeth, naga-hide brown flesh from the tanning bed, these huge bosoms, and a microphone that says E on it goes, Henry, why are you here to see Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill? Fucking free food, that's why I'm here. Henry, you can't say, oh, did I say, I'm sorry, can we do it again? Rolling, okay. Henry, why are you here to see Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill? Free food. Adam scammed these free tickets, and we're gonna go in and see Kill Bill. We're not really supposed to be here, and I'm gonna scam so much free shit if I can, and I'm gonna cut. I'm sorry, just get in. And so we skulk in. Now, I've been to a couple of these things before, and I have a plan, I have a ritual. Soon as my foot crosses the threshold of the theater door, my objective becomes perfectly clear. Eat all the free food I can and steal all the paper and plastic goods possible. There's a war on, I need free shit. So like a bad date, I leave Adam standing at the door of the theater as I race through overpaid, underworked neurobreds and grab the first bucket of popcorn. I am able to get 1 gallon of dry popcorn into my mouth and down my throat without the help of liquid in less than a minute. Like, I throw the empty gallon bucket like a husk over my shoulder. I grab the second bucket. It takes a little bit more work, but god damn it, I can do it. Second bucket gone. I go staggering towards the sporks, forks, spoons, knives, napkins, and straws. I steal all of them. Down my ass crack, into my pockets, down my shirt, in my socks. I am ready for what? Many picnics. I don't know. And so, with all of that stolen, I stagger back to the popcorn, grab the third bucket, which I can't possibly eat, but I must demarcate my territory by spitting into it, thus staking my claim. Like, so I show a lot of gum and teeth as I defend my food. Much like Rosie O'Donnell at feeding time. If you go, true. If you've ever seen the shots, the overhead shots of her trough at 5:30, there's a sign that says, don't go anywhere near the Rosie from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Johnny, you'll lose a finger to that woman. And you can see her, with Queequeg's harpoon sticking out of her side. I know you've seen it. And so anyway, I'm holding on to my popcorn, and the lights start to flash. It's time to shut up and sit down and see the film. And so Adam and I, we walk down the theater, down the aisle, and the usher shows us where to sit, and we sit down. We're right near the front, and I look ahead of me, and there is a microphone on a mic stand. Someone's gonna come out and speak. Who can it be? Quentin Tarantino walks out. A weird-looking little motherfucker. Wide-set eyes. He has the metabolic rate of an animal that can run on a wheel for hours at a time. He's like, he's sweating. It's weird. He comes out, he grabs the mic and starts banging it with the flat of his hand. Is this thing on? Is this thing on? People are like, God, it's just killing me. He goes, you know what I think of doing? Earlier today, I was thinking of getting 500 rats and waiting for Kill Bill to start and then unleashing the rats so they'd attack you Hollywood people. Ha, ha, ha. 1,500 people politely applaud a man who wants to have rats attack them. He wants to attack us with rats. Just go with it. Yeah. Then I was thinking of getting 500 Kill Bill jackets made, 250 in red and 250 in blue, and putting Kill Bill in the back and giving them to you Hollywood people. Yeah, giving them to Hollywood people, and then you put them on, and then Kill Bill starts, and then I let in a whole bunch of Crips and Bloods into the theater, and to see what happens to you Hollywood people. First rats, now gangsters. Ooh. And then he said something that was pretty right on. He said, this film wouldn't have been possible without Uma Thurman. Uma Thurman was the pillar with which we all rested upon. She's the best. God damn it, Uma, get up! You've seen the film. Uma Thurman, in my opinion, is a very fine actress, not all that hard on the eyes. And in this particular film, she kicks a lot of ass, literally and figuratively. She was really brilliant. Someone should give her an attaboy or something. And if you withstand 2 years of Quentin Tarantino, can't Quentin be a little bit more polite? Can't he say, like, golly, Uma, please get up and say hello to everyone who's breaking their necks looking for you across the theater? Why do you have to say, God damn it, get up? Uma is in the fetal position with a program over her head. I am not here, I am not here, I am not here. Finally, after the third time, she gets up and waves, and everyone's like, oh, 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 there she is. And who's sitting in front of me? Sheryl Crow is sitting in front of me, and she turns around to try and find Uma, and I'm waiting there with my tongue. Well, I have this theory that she's into me. I have no proof to back it up. I just have a feeling. And I'm desperate, but I know at this time she's like bouncing from bed to bed, and she should go from bed to cum stained futon with me. Sure, why not? She's hitting it with Kid Rock every once in a while, and when she's not with Kid Rock, she's swinging from the ball of Lance Armstrong, which is admittedly a pretty hard challenge. You can't go up against that guy. He's a world-class athlete. I just wonder, what side of the saddle does he put the ball on? On the downhill, because, you know, wind and efficiency. You don't wonder about shit like that? So anyway, she turns, I'm like, come on, come and get it. She's like, oh, you're disgusting. So anyway, the film starts. I'm not the biggest fan of the film. It felt like it took 5 days. And so 5 days later, the film, you know, the lights come up, and Adam looks at me, he goes, so, how about we go to the after party and eat a bunch of free food? Free food during wartime? We take off to the after party. Now, there's a wonderful thing with a post-movie after party ritual. No one in the entertainment industry can be seen to have an appetite. You are supposed to survive on ambition and hatred and nicotine. It's the Sharon Stone method. And so eaters are very lonely at these things. And so Adam and I go running through all these beautiful people at this sushi bar, which we see in the back. And we're like, ah, running mouth first at this sushi guy's like, no, because we're like, incoming, ah. And we go, bonk, and we land jaws on the counter, ah. And the guy's very polite. Yes, sirs, what can I do for you? Ah! You want sushi? Ah! Okay, well, here's some trays of sushi. Ah! You want me to feed you? Ah! Okay, sir. I don't know. It cost me my job. Jeez, look at the feeding response on this guy. Oh, that's kind of cool. Like a crocodile with a zebra leg. You know, it just takes a minute. Oh. Wow. He's like, yeah, you guys are too intense for me. And there's all these trays of sushi standing there, unloved. No one's gonna take them home. It's like that little orphan with the big eyes and the flat spot on his head. Heart of gold, but no one wants him. Don't worry, I love you, sushi. And I'm just like grabbing the sushi off the trays and putting into these huge balls of seaweed and rice and cramming them down my ass crack, into my pockets, into my socks, into my ears, stealing bottles of soy sauce, wasabi behind the ears, rubbing it into my scalp. I can get it later. And so now I have like 14 pounds of sushi, straws, forks, spoons, knives, and napkins. I go staggering away from the sushi bar with Adam, and we go into the foyer of the party to watch the beautiful people cavort. And we're kind of like leaning obscenely up against these pillars with our guts like, it's all free. And the beautiful people are running around, and the evening goes from typically Hollywood to utterly surreal when Ike Turner walks by. I'm like, whoa, Adam, check that out, fucking Ike Turner.
Well, it looks like Ike Turner. It's not Ike Turner.
Like, it is Ike Turner, flat top, bug eyes, the look of danger. You know, his whole personality just says, I will fuck you up. I'm like, look at him, he's like human dynamite.
No, that's not Ike Turner. He wouldn't be at this thing. That's not him.
I go, well, it looks like him.
Well, it looks like him, but it's not him.
So, you know, I'm always wrong about that kind of stuff. And so the Ike clone walks away, and then a few minutes later, the Ike clone comes walking back out the hallway towards us. And he goes,
We have to go. We have to leave right now.
I go, why? He goes,
That is Ike Turner. We gotta go.
I go, why do we have to go?
He has a gun. He might shoot someone. I don't want to die. I mean, come on, let's get out of here. I don't want to, look, I'm crying. Come on.
I said, fuck it, I'm going in.
He's like, where are you going?
I said, I'm going to go meet Ike Turner.
No, don't leave me. You're going to get shot. It's straight gunfire. I'll get shot. What are you doing?
I said, fuck it, I'm going to go meet Ike Turner. I am not a very outgoing person. I just can't walk up and go, hi, I'm Henry. I'm not factory installed with that kind of confidence. I try. Like you've tried, you stand in the mirror, hi, and you say your name, I'm so-and-so, I'm so-and-so. I hate my name, I hate my face, I hate the way my lips go over my teeth, I hate the sound of my voice, I'm gonna wear a paper bag for the rest of my fucking life and never say my name out loud again. Just call me X. And so I try it, I wanna walk up and go, hey, I'm Henry, how are you? And not sound like a dick. And it always comes out all stilted, like, hi, I'm Karen. I suck at it. Or I overthink it, and it comes out like it explodes from my mouth. And so here comes Ike Turner. I'm rehearsing it. Ike, you must be Ike Turner. Not too cheesy. Ike Turner. Hey, man. No, really, man. Excuse me. Aren't you? No. How do you do, Mr. Turner? Yeah, don't call Mike. Just say, how do you do, Mr. Turner? 3, 2, 1. Whatever's going to come out of my mouth is going to come out of my mouth. It comes out of my mouth. Mr. Turner! He's like, motherfucker. He goes for the gun. I'm like, Mr. Turner, a few years ago, I was taking a tour of Sun Studios down in Tennessee, and the guy who was giving the tour said that one time you took your amplifier out of the trunk of your car and you're walking across the parking lot towards the studio, but you dropped the amplifier and you broke the speaker, and you brought it into the studio and you plugged it in and started playing, and it sounded really bad because the speaker was cracked, and you said it sounded horrible, but Sam Phillips said it sounded really crazy, and he wanted you to record with it, and you did, and that's how you recorded Rocket 88, thus putting the first ever distorted guitar on tape, and you're one of the guys who gave birth to rock and roll. I just wanted to shake your hand, sir. And he stops. Safety's his weapon. Goes back to his VH1 files. I did do that. Hey, it's very nice to meet you, young man. I'm like, oh, he likes me. He likes me. Well, me, my friend Adam Rifkin. Adam, come here. Shake the hand of Beat Tina. Come here. And so Adam comes over.
Thanks for not shooting my friend. Very nice of you.
And so we just kind of stand there with Ike Turner. Nothing in my life has prepared me for a conversation with Ike Turner. What do you talk about with Ike Turner? So Ike, always wanted to know. Let's see, a hypothetical. 7 a.m., 1968, you're going across the country with the Rolling Stones, kicking their ass off stage every night. You're in the hotel room, Holiday Inn, Canton, Ohio. Bathroom door opens, Tina emerges, towel on head, towel around midsection, steam coming out behind her, backlit, beautiful shot. Now, do you go in, do you slip the jab and go in for the body and then go upstairs? I mean, are you going for like a 10 or 15 round distance fight? We're going to win by points. You just go in there like Tyson-esque, like, first 49 seconds of the bout. I mean, she looks like she's pretty good. Like, like she could dance. I always admire her quads. And she looks like she's got a pretty strong jaw, and she can really take one on the chin. So what was it? Did you take a speed bag on tour? Did you take a heavy bag so you could work out, and so you could like punch her out regularly? I mean, how did you do that? How did you work that out and still do all the shows? Ike? I don't know what to say to the guy. And he won't leave. No one else will talk to him, so he kind of hangs out with us. We kind of walk away. He comes with us. We walk to the side. He comes with us. So I try and make a fake conversation. So, Mr. Turner, you like the film? Yeah, I like the film. That's great. I like the film. I liked it too. I like movies. People like movies. I love them. They keep making them. A lot of them. Good ones, bad ones, long ones, short ones, and independent film channel, Bravo, HBO. What are you going to do? There's tons of movie channels. And every third building's a movie theater. People going in, people going out. One, please, popcorn, large Pepsi. It's a ritual. It's a, So you did like the film. That's good. I liked it, like I told you. You already. Is he still there?
Yeah, he's not leaving.
Okay, so did you ever see the movie where Lawrence Fishburne No, bad. Okay. Is the gun coming out again? And so after a while, Ike finally leaves, and Adam said, "How about we leave?" And so we left, having met Satan. It was so weird. And we get back in my car, and we leave the party, and I drop him off in my driveway, and he goes driving away, and I go into my house and take off most of my clothes. I can't sleep naked. I'm too uptight. And so I kept the underwear on, and I put the crash helmet on. And, you know, the usual. I cinch up the chin strap. Tears start coming. And I change up the routine just a little bit. I put the bite plate in. I start sobbing. And right before I blacked out, I put on the neck brace, which I do sometimes just because when I have a real image in mind. I mean, this whole thing was going to be a tribute to Sheryl Crow. It's that whole every day is a winding road thing really pulled me in. What can I say? I'm inspired, you know. And so it's a good thing I used the neck brace that night because it was a particularly enthusiastic post-ejaculatory refractory period. I woke up a day and a half later in my backyard, and I lost the neck brace. It's gone. Like, you know, maybe a condor took it away or something. But so that really happened. So that happened. So anyway, let me tell you quickly about these two phone calls, and then I'll turn you loose. It'll only take 5 or 6 hours. Right around this time, I was at my office pretending to work, and my phone rang. It was Manager Boy. And Manager Boy calls up and goes, "You're not going to believe this, but the USO just called me. They want you to go out to the middle of nowhere and cheer up the troops. What do you think about that?" I go, "Cheer up the troops? It can't be done." He goes, "I know. Do you want to do it or not?" I said, "Well, you better call the USO back and ask them if they are really sure about what they're getting." Because you know me, potty mouth, no decent means of restraint. I could get killed by my own countrymen. He went, "Oh yeah, and I get 15% of your action to protect my investment. As your manager, I'll call the USO back." I said, "Okay, get back to me when you hear from them." And then this other phone call came in, which I'll tell you about in an hour or so. And so anyway, Manager Boy calls back a while later. He goes, "Okay, the USO, the representatives have been to your shows in Washington. They've seen you. They think the troops would love you. So do you want to go or not?" I went, yes." He went, "Really?" I went, "Yeah." He said, "I thought you'd say no." I go, "Why do you think I'd say no?" He says, "Because A, they can't be cheered up. B, I thought you're against the war." I go, I am against the war." He said, "Then why do you want to go?" I said, "I'm against the war, but I'm not against the troops. I'm against like Wolfowitz and Cheney and Rumsfeld and William Crystal and Bill Bennett." Yeah. And so we fly out, let's see, I go LA to Dulles International, to Heathrow International in London, to Istanbul, Turkey, to Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan. And we're at the Gansi Air Base, walking through the town that Halliburton built. And we spent 48 hours at the Gansi Air Base meeting all these young men and women. And they come up to you and say the craziest things. "Sir, permission to shake your hand?" "First off, call me Henry and you can shake my hand anytime." "Sir, it's an honor to shake your hand." "Call me Henry, it's not an honor to shake my hand. It's an absolute low, I assure you." "Sir, shaking your hand and talking to you has made my year." "Okay, friends, may you never have a year so shitty where meeting me is the best part of it. I mean, come on." Which just gives you a little light to how bad it is for these young people. And we spent 48 hours there. And then Mike and I are thrown aboard a C-130 Hercules cargo plane, the most uncomfortable airplane in the world to travel on. Some of you have been on budget air where you live in the fetal position for 90 hours. This is nothing, okay, compared to the C-130 Hercules. And some of you people have been in a C-130 Hercules cargo plane. It sucks. They take a slat off the wall. Thunk. Have a seat. Thunk. Ow! That can't be right. You move over, there's a bar going up your ass crack. Hello? No. Move back. Ow, ow, ow. Ass hurts, ass hurts, ass hurts. Legs are going numb. Ow, ow, ow. Everyone else around you, they're all asleep. You're like, how can they sleep? And it's not like there's a toilet or any windows or a latte. There's none of that. And you sit there for an hour as you wait for clearance. You are the human cargo on the C-130 Hercules. It's you, a bunch of huge men holding rifles, asleep, slumping over you, and a bunch of pallets of supplies. And you're sitting there waiting, like, ow, 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 ow. And no pilot comes on. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be pushing back real soon, so tray tables up, seats in the upright and locked position. Put away those Game Boys, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be pushing off in a few minutes, and we will be going over war-torn territory, so if you feel the plane list to one side or fly upside down or go straight up in the air, we are taking evasive action from ground-to-air missiles. I've been flying the C-130 Hercules cargo plane for about 3.5 weeks now, and I'm reasonably sure that I can get us to the destination without the wings being blown off, although we are able to fly these with all the engines on fire, no tail, upside down, doing a cartwheel of fiery death down the runway. So don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy the flight. There's nothing like that. You're waiting, you're waiting, you're waiting, ow, 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 and all of a sudden, it's like, 3.5 hours later, where you are aware of every second passing, because every minute holds 60 seconds of, ow, my ass, ow, my ass. You make the most terrifying landing you ever made in your life. It's a combat landing, and I've been in a lot of weird planes, and I've dropped into a lot of weird countries in my life on one wing, on the back wing, where they let me fly the fucking plane. It's a lot of crazy shit you go through when you travel a lot. But this was, that's it. I'm like, I've got my legs wrapped around a man's midsection. My arms are around his shoulders. I am screaming and crying into his neck. Hold me! Hooah, get off me! I'm sorry. You wet your pants. I know. And then the back of the C-130, wham! It goes down, and all the cargo goes out, and a young man from the Air Force comes bounding up the ramp, clear-eyed, square jaw. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bagram Air Base here in sunny Afghanistan. I know all of you want to use the restroom facilities that are located over here, but I must divert you from the restrooms over here to the debriefing hut over here. The debriefing will be brief, then we'll get you some R&R, some chow, and some Portisane facilities. Welcome to the base! All the Air Force guys go to the debriefing. All the Army guys go right to the Portisane. Why? Because an Air Force guy told them what to do. They go, bite me, I'm going to the can. Now, no one told me that the last step off the down ramp of the C-130 is like 4 feet to the ground. It's all like, doom, doom, fuck! Was my first words upon encountering Afghanistan. I'm like, There are no lights on at the Bagram Air Base in beautiful Afghanistan. If you light a cigarette lighter, it's a target. So I'm in this like 9-lane wide tarmac in inky darkness, and I'm sorry, I don't know my way around Afghanistan. So I'm like, help me. Somehow every Air Force guy instinctively knows where to go. So I just kind of go running after the sound of crunching boots. I find a rifle barrel. I hold on. We're like a line of ducklings in the dark. And we go up this dirt road, and all of a sudden Mike and I are, surrounded by these 2 USO reps who come out of the inky darkness like ninja. Are you the 2 pussies from the USO? We are. Come with us. And Mike and I are taken to this building. You can barely see it in the night. It's some old office building left behind by the Russians after the Russian-Afghan War. And we're taken into this office space, and there's a couple of bunk beds. And he goes, okay, here's your 2 bunk beds at 6:30 p.m. Zulu time. We'll be taking you at 03:30 Zulu time for the 15 straight hour meet and greet operation. Toilets and showers are downstairs. Use your DOD pass with you at all times. If you don't have your DOD pass with you at all times, you could be shot here at the Bagram Air Base. When you cross the road, make sure you show your pass to the guard and don't get shot. And the food will be starting at 01:30 Zulu time. Have a good night. Hooah! Hooah, good night. And so we sleep for a while. We get up at like 01:30 Z. We use our Department of Defense passes. We go across the road and eat some free Halliburton food. And we come back across the road. The sun is now rising on old Afghanistan. And we look at the building that we spent the night in. And the front of the building is covered with little holes. What could the holes be? Going into denial mode, but yet curious, I walk up to some huge man with a rifle. Excuse me, sir. Hooah! Yes, little man. Those holes in the building, are those bullet holes? Yes. Are you fucking kidding me? You're shooting guns around here? What are you thinking? Sir, this is a Taliban air base. You think we just walked up and said, pretty please, and they gave it to us? Well, no, but guns suck, you know. So did anyone get, like, killed or anything with all the guns going off? Sir, some of the most vicious firefighting for the base happened right where you're standing. At that moment, the USO guys come up and they give Mike and I our 50-pound ceramic-plated body armor to put on. You throw this thing on and hopefully this vest stops AK-47 slugs whizzing towards your body. You put this on, lumbar pain starts immediately like, whoa, you're bent over like a Galapagos tortoise. You're like, there's guys next to you in full pack body armor and like 800 guns, and they're like, what's the matter, man? Can't handle it? And you're like, I guess I can, okay? And so this van pulls up, and Mike and I are thrown into the van with all these USO guys and all these Army guys, and we show our IDs, and we leave the Bagram Air Base. And as soon as we leave the Bagram Air Base, every single soldier in the van locks and loads his weapon. There's a loaded .45 on the seat next to me between my thigh and the thigh of a soldier. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. What's with all the locking and loading? Sir, when you're on the Bagram Air Base, you must have your weapon with you at all times. You cannot have your weapon with you at all times unless if you're going to the gym or coming back from the gym or going to take a shower, coming back from the shower, sir. When you leave the Bagram Air Base, you must have your weapon with you at all times. The weapon must be locked and loaded. Because we might get shot at. It's a possibility, sir. It's a possibility we might get shot at? What the fuck? What the fuck, sir? What the fuck is you have body armor on. You should be okay unless you take a headshot. Oh, well, no problem. And so we drive to Kabul. We go down the road, and we're surrounded by the beautiful Hindu Kush mountains. And we're driving out of Bagram towards Kabul. And I see a woman walking by the van in the little bit of city with a burqa on. And you know what a burqa is. Not like the sexy veil, like, see you later, here I am, no I'm not, yes I am. It's like this really offensive body bag, which some women wear over there. And they've got the little grill for the face, and it's worn over the street clothing, so it's incredibly hot and oppressive. You can't breathe, and it's really stifling. And I did a little recon on the burqa when I got back to planet Earth a few days later. I went to actually a website, burqa.com. I'm not kidding. And I found out the burqa must be cut so a woman's body weight and shape cannot be discerned within 50 pounds. And that also her shoes must be tailored so they make no sound. So the woman walks silently and anonymously with her male counterpart, who she must be with at all times and outside. And this is not the kind of thing you can get across to women here in this country, because we enjoy a lot of freedom. And so when you see this woman in a burqa, my initial instinct is to leap out of the van, punch the guy in the head who's with her, rip the burqa off the woman and go, honey, let's burn it together. You know? Because that's just kind of how we live here. You don't tell your girlfriend to get in a body bag. Now, you might be able to sell your girlfriend or wife on a burqa if you pitched it right. Okay, honey, you put on this burqa. Wait a minute. You put on the burqa. Easy. I put on the second half of the horse outfit. Here's the mayonnaise. I've got the whipped cream. Okay, let's run around, chase each other around the coffee table until the guy with the German Shepherd gets here. And then we'll roll video. What the hell? And you might be able to sell that one. But if you say, honey, we're going down to the gig tonight, get your burqa on. That's when you guys get a free anatomy lesson. You get to see your nuts. Here, put these on. We'll go out to the show. And so it was interesting to see this difference in culture. And so I go, what the fuck? What's a burqa? And they go, well, you know, the Taliban are gone, you know, on paper, but some women still wear the burqa. And we also saw women without them. But it was just weird seeing this Casper, the unfriendly ghost, walking around in this black sack. Sucked. So we get back in the van, and we drive back to Bagram, and we spend the rest of the day meeting all kinds of people all over the base. And then we walk out to the airstrip to the actual jet fighters. And I thought they were smaller. They're really huge, and they're pretty intense. I'm not really a weapons or vehicle kind of guy, but they're pretty insane. I'm looking up at these things, and at this time, we meet the most intense man of the whole tour. He's the guy who puts all the bombs and bullets on all the aircraft on the base. Huge man, no hair, sweating in the sun. He did not speak. He only shouted. He comes bounding up. Hooah! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bagram Air Base here in sunny Afghanistan. Please, sirs, please accompany me out to this jet fighter. See this Gatling gun, sir? This Gatling gun in the front of this jet fighter can put a bullet every square foot of a football field in half a second, sir. We love nothing more than getting the green light and dropping bad things on bad people, ruin their day. Can I get a hooah from every enlisted man around me? Hooah! Fucking A! Sir, please walk out to the wing of this jet fighter, sir. See this bomb? This bomb weighs 500 pounds, it costs $250,000, sir. When we drop this bomb, we love nothing more than getting the green light to drop this bomb, drop bad things on bad people. Sir, if we're to drop this bomb in America, destroy everything east of the Mississippi, sir. Whew. Sir, it'd be an honor, sir, if you take this Sharpie, sir, go over here to this bomb, sir, and sign our bomb, sir. In my time, during 25 years of being on stage, I've been asked to sign quite a few interesting things in my time, but never in my life has a man said to me, "Sirs, we'd be honored here at the Bagram Air Base here in sunny Afghanistan, sir, if you would sign my bomb, sir!" That's never happened. So I took the Sharpie from the guy, and I walked towards this bomb, not knowing what the hell I can put on a bomb that's not thoroughly distasteful and disgusting. I don't want to sign a bomb, yet at the same time, it's a USO thing, people pleasing. And it's not for me to get on my moral high horse and say, that's somehow below me. Because nothing is below me. And my moral high horse is a three-legged nag with no teeth that smells of death and has flies and vultures circling overhead. So it's not for me to go, no, I can't do that. So I take the magic marker and I walk up to this bomb going, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And when in doubt, be funny. When you try to be funny, you're never funny. So I'm trying to be funny and I put down, what happened? ? It was over so fast! ! And I sign it. Ha ha! It's funny. It's a sack of lepers. It's not funny at all. And so I go walking away from this bomb going, oh man, that sucks. They loved it. Fucking A! Hooah! I'm like, no, don't take digital photos of it because you can go on the internet and upload it as a JPEG. And a day and a half later, just go to Google, put in Henry Rollins bomb asshole. You'll see it. There it is. I'm not kidding. And so we hung out there for a few more hours. And the next day, we were loaded onto an ass-crushing, leg-killing C-130, 5.5 hours. We land in Doha. And we spent 48 hours at the Doha base at Adid, and we meet several hundred more young men and women who are getting shot at every day in Iraq. They're rotating out of Baghdad to there for R&R. And then 48 hours later, our little mission with the USO is over. And we leave out of Doha, we land in Heathrow International and go into the duty-free area. So, I promised you I would tell you about the other phone call. Remember I told you there's a second phone call? Okay, well it has to do with this thing. Okay, the other phone call was from a guy named Ben Folds. You've heard of Ben Folds, the musician. All right. He sells a few tickets in this town. Well, right after I got off the phone with Manager Boy about the USO, Ben calls, and he goes, hey, it's Ben Folds. And I don't really know the guy, but I kind of know him. We've waved at each other from distant festival stages all over Europe every year. So I go, I know you. I've waved at you from safe distances in the past. He goes, that's right. I need your help. I go, oh, you got a flat tire or something? What do you need? He goes, I need your help on a record. Oh, okay, load in the gear, clean out the ashtrays, and go get pizza. I won't score drugs for you, but I'll go get the pizza and clean out the ashtrays and make some good coffee. He went, no, I need you to sing on a record. I'm like, oh, well, you should get a singer, because I can't sing. And he goes, well, I know that, but I want you on the record anyway. I go, well, if you look at the history of rock and roll, any record I'm on, it doesn't sell. It goes away. It never existed. It's never happened. And he goes, I know, but I want you on the record anyway. I'm like, well, that's insane. He goes, right, so is the record. I go, what are you doing? He goes, I'm producing an album for William Shatner. And so I'm like, wow. And you want me to do what exactly? He goes, I don't know, but I think if you show up and you're in the same room as he is, something insane will happen. And I went, yeah. I said, book it. I mean, life is short. If you can have a chance to get some kicks, do it. Go for it. And so I said, sign me up, but I got to do this USO thing. He goes, don't worry about the USO thing. We'll work around you. And so I went out of Doha to London Heathrow to Newark, New Jersey, all the way down to Nashville, Tennessee, like 28 hours of flights and layovers. And I go staggering through the wonderful town of Nashville. Beautiful place. Interesting. No landmines. You're like, wow, I can walk anywhere I want. And I'm jet lagging, and I'm insane. And you have a mullet. That's a mullet. You have a mullet. And you have no teeth, but you have a long mullet. I'm playing with your hair. The guy didn't kill me. I'm lucky. So anyway, I had a surreal night of dreams about minefields and the Mujahideen. And I woke up the next morning, and Ben picks me up at the hotel and takes me to the studio. And I walk in, and I meet William Shatner. Henry! Hello! I'm William Shatner. 72 years old, more energy than a 15-year-old. He's absolutely dynamite. He just kind of bounces around the room. He's really fantastic. Henry, we're making this album. It's really wild. Of course. Ben, play him the track we did yesterday. Henry, I did a thing called I Can't Get Behind That, which is a list of things I can't get behind. Ben, play him the track. Ben turns on the tape player, and this drummer starts playing all this wild jazz bow drums, and in comes William Shatner. The price of oil goes down, yet the price of gasoline goes up. I can't get behind that. And it's like this 3-minute list of things he can't get behind. And it's awesome. It's awesome. And I listened to it, he goes, what do you think? I said, that's great. I mean, that's fantastic. I was thinking maybe we could do something like that. I said, well, Bill, with all due respect, I think if you put 2 drum and rant things on one record, it'll be kind of lopsided. They'll go, well, that's the record with the 2 drum and rant things on there, so it rolls like an egg. He goes, oh, but I think we should do something like it. I said, how about this? Just an idea. If you don't like the idea, I never said it, but for nothing. Since you have this obvious gem in the can, done. What if we do another version of it where I add a few things I can't get behind, because that'll only take 20 minutes for me to write about 800 things I can't get behind, and we hot finger them into the things you can't get behind, and we do this thing about things we can't get behind. Well, you do one, I do one, you do one, I do one, back and forth, kind of a call and response thing. Ben, did you hear Henry's idea? Quick, get him a pad of paper and a pen. Henry, write down the things you can't get behind. So I write down 50 things I can't get behind. 4 minutes later, I give it to his personal assistant. She takes 10 of the good ones, and she folds them into the script. We kind of do a little edit for about an hour. We look at it. We print it out. We read it back and forth. We make a few more minor changes. Looks good, sounds good. We rehearse it a few times. We go into the vocal booth. We wake up the drummer. The drummer starts going, and we start this thing. He does one, I do one. He does one, I do one. And halfway through, the drummer comes to this choreographed stop, where Shatner and I look at each other and scream at the top of our lungs at the same time, I can't get behind that! The drummer comes back in, and we cook on this like 5 times straight until we're bug-eyed from exhaustion, covered in perspiration. The drummer's like, no more, no more. And Ben comes in, he goes, you know what, the last 3 were magic. They're fine. In my opinion, as your producer, I say you're finished. If you guys want to do more, go ahead. I said, I'm open, I'll do whatever. And William goes, Henry, what did you think of the track? I said, I think I'm happy when you're happy. If you want to do it 50 more times, I'm your guy. I will not stop until you're satisfied. Well, I like what we've done so far, but I hear a guitar. Henry, do you hear a guitar? Like, no. But I hear a high-pitched whine in my right ear since 1982. But I don't hear a guitar. I hear a guitar. I need a guitar. Ben, get me a guitar player. Can you get me a guitar player, Ben? Aye, aye, Captain. And Ben goes out to the front part of the studio, and we follow him in, and by the time I walk into the control room, Ben has put the phone down. And I said, did you just get a guitar player? He goes, I did. I go, you got a guitar player in 1 phone call in 2 minutes? He goes, I did. I go, whoa! That's wild. He goes, yeah, we're going to take a dinner break. We're going to go out and eat dinner. The guitar player's going to come in, set up his gear, listen to the track, and he'll be ready to do I Can't Get Behind That when we come back from dinner. What do you think? I said, I'm just amazed you got a guitar player to walk in. Is it like some session guy? And he goes, no, it's Adrian Ballou. Okay, 50 eclectic souls in the building. For those of you who do know the name Adrian Belew, you have never been high enough to come up with Adrian Belew, Henry Rollins, and William Shatner and a drummer on one track. Never. And I know you've been a little wasted in your time. Dude, Henry Rollins, William Shatner, and Adrian Belew and a drummer, dude. That's so fucking stoned, dude. Give me that. Woo! For those of you who don't know the name Adrian Belew, it's not because you're ignorant. He's a musician, but he's not a rock star. He's kind of a musician's musician, like Ry Cooder. Great guitar player, but not like the guy who signs a bunch of autographs, but he's the guy who can do the job. And you've heard him on a lot of Talking Heads records, a lot of David Bowie records, and he's been a live guitar player on a lot of big David Bowie tours. And he's in this little teeny tiny little club band called King Crimson. Yeah. So the boy can play guitar like you can go into credit debt, grow hair, and eat. He's good. And I have every record the boy's ever done and all the bootlegs. And so when Ben Folds says that the Adrian Belew is walking into this building in about 20 minutes, I go all a quiver. My hands become wet. And I'm unable to breathe through my nose. I become a warm-handed mouth breather, the kind you see at Trekkie conventions. Like, oh, Adrian Belew is coming here. And Ben goes, oh no, are you a Trekkie for Adrian Belew? I'm like, yes. I have all the records. I have this one King Crimson bootleg. Track 3, July 31st, 1983, Rome, Italy, 17 minutes and 51 seconds to track 3. He says something. I've never been able to fully discern exactly what he's saying, and I've had all kinds of email battles in chat rooms with some of my Dungeons & Dragons friends, and my friend Beldor13, he says it's one thing, and I say it's not, and I always relegate him to the 3rd level, but he always has the ball of light, so he always gets out and attacks me with his ball of swords. So, I want to ask Adrian Belew exactly what he's saying on track 3, 17 minutes and 51 seconds into the track. And Ben goes, you'll do nothing of the kind. You're not going to interrogate him. You're not going to mist him with your saliva. You're not going to shake his hand with that moist paw of yours. And you're not going to inquire about little known facts about King Crimson. I will. And so we're walking towards the door of the studio to leave to go into the car to go to the restaurant to eat. The door opens, Adrian Belew walks in with a dolly with all of his gear. I'm like, oh, because it looks just like Adrian Belew. I'm like, he goes, that's right, I'm Adrian Belew, you're Henry Rollins, that's William Shatner, that's Ben Folds, you're gonna go eat dinner, I'm gonna listen to this I Can't Get Behind That Thing, set up my guitar, you're gonna come back, we're gonna play this I Can't Get Behind That Thing with me and a drummer. Do not touch me, do not slime me, do not ask me about that band. Go. I'm like, I'll see you soon, sir. So we leave the studio, we're walking to the car, and I said, Ben, how did you get Adrian Belew to walk into this building with one phone call? He goes, well, I live here in town, he lives here in town, he's a friend of mine. And I just called him, I said, Adrian, what are you doing? He goes, nothing, I'm just hanging out. He goes, I've got Henry Rollins and William Shatner and a drummer in the studio. You want a piece of this? And he went, that's insane, I'm on my way. And so, yeah. So we get into Ben's car. I'm sitting behind William, and we're driving to the restaurant. I've grabbed William Shatner's ears, and I'm smashing his head against the headrest of the car. This is so fucking cool! Adrian Belew, get off my head! And at this time, William Shatner drops this amazing factoid upon me. He said, Henry, my friend from the eastern seaboard captures the best scallops I've ever had. Being insatiably curious, I realize at this time I know precious little about the scallop and its methods of how you capture it. Is the scallop a predatory creature of the sea with claws and fangs that lurks furtively in the kelp waiting to kill something? And how do you bring it down? Do you employ deep sea ninjas? Brave young men who utilize stealth and cunning to bring this elusive predatory beast to its knees? Is that how it goes down? Like, come on. silent spear of death. Is that how you bring down a scallop? I don't know. But William goes on. My friend from the eastern seaboard captures the best scallops I've ever had. I've flown him from the eastern seaboard with the scallops. He's going to meet us at the restaurant. Okay. We walk into the restaurant. Everyone registers William Shatner. He's a worldwide sensation. People are eating, I'm eating, honey. Oh my God. That's William Shatner. The entire restaurant starts smiling. People love this guy. Excuse me, Mr. Shatner, they're terrified, but they want to meet him. Mr. Shatner, call me Bill. It's very nice to meet you. Oh, how do you do? Call me Bill. He's a very nice man. He's nothing like we are. He's a Canadian. Spontaneously friendly. No firearms. And so we walk to this table and we sit down and I look across the table and there's a smallish man, kind of wet, sand in his hair, a bit of seaweed over one ear. Oh, are you? I am Scallop Man. You are Scallop Man. You're from the eastern seaboard, yes. And with a wet, sandy hand, we meet. And at that moment, the chef comes out with a basket of scallops. Now that I see what a scallop looks like, I'm not afraid of a scallop or a penguin. And so he comes out, Mr. Shatner, welcome to the restaurant. These are the finest scallops I have ever seen. It's going to be an honor to prepare them. I know, he captures them. Yes, I've met Scallop Man. And so the chef goes into the kitchen and returns a few moments later, and he's prepared the scallops in this wonderful pasta with a sauce. And William, we could all take a lesson from William Shatner. He's really learned how to live. He's like 70-something, and at 70-something, you only get a few more laps around the track, so you better make it good. And this guy enjoys every day of his life. He enjoys his friends. He's just a really wonderful guy. And with every fork full of food, this is the best scallop. No, this one is. Henry, how do you like the scallops? Huh? I've got the plate wedged in my mouth. I am pouring the food down my throat so I can eat as much as possible quickly. Free food. What does a scallop taste like? I don't know. Did I eat a lot of them? Yeah. I went through all the breadsticks, all the bread stole, 2 forks, a knife, 2 napkins, and I almost got the goddamn tablecloth, but the guy busted me. Sir? What? The tablecloth? What tablecloth? Sir, you have a white tail coming out of your pants. All right. Here you go. Sorry. It's a war on. And so anyway, we finish dinner, and we go back to the studio, and Adrian Belew is set up. He's there with his Stratocaster. I whip out the camera. I take photos of all his pedals and all his effects racks, his Stratocaster, his face. I poke him. I ask him King Crimson questions, and he suffers me fairly gladly. He's a very nice man. And finally, I'm restrained by security and thrown into the vocal booth. And the drummer's woken up, and I can't get behind that with Adrian Belew making all those Adrian Belew noises, angry rhinoceros, high on angel dust, invading shopping center during Christmas rush, wounded elephant, hijacking a burning airliner going into halftime stadium Super Bowl environment. And a drummer, and me and Captain Kirk. It was awesome. And so we do this 3 times without stopping. And we're like, we come to the end, we're like buckets of sweat. And the drummer's like, okay, yeah, you're killing me. And Adrian's ready to go. He goes, well, you guys want to do more? And I said, ask our producer. And Ben walks in, he goes, you know what? You guys killed it. It sounds great. The last 2 are magic. It's fine. We're done. So I shook hands with all my new friends, and William Shatner, who's now my buddy, and Adrian Blue's my buddy, and Ben Folds, who's my buddy, and he's really cool people. And I go back to my hotel room because I'm finished. I'm going to fly back to Los Angeles the next day. And the USO would not permit me to bring my crash helmet or my bite plate, some kind of regulation. I asked. They said, please don't. We'll try and supply you one when you get on in country. And so, a lonely guy in a room far from home, I had to improvise. So I made this funny turban with a bedspread. It looked kind of funny. And I used the corner of a pillow for a bite plate. And, the tears come. I start sobbing. And a particularly enthusiastic post-ejaculatory response this time. I found myself, I was woken up by the guy from the front desk who heard the body hit the ground. And I guess I thrashed around a lot. I broke a lamp, which they didn't charge me for because they're cool like that. And he said he found me by the ice machine, which is like 4 doors down from my room. And he said he gently picked me up and ignored what was cooling in my hand. And I don't know. Well, it's not like y'all were born yesterday. You know how the world works. Men are simple. It's just food and sex. We're fine. And so anyway, he carried me back, and he said he put me back in bed and left a mint on my pillow, which I thought that's kind of a neat, like, post-coital amenity. That's kind of cool. That's service. That's what that is. And so the next day, I got on an airplane, and I flew back to LA, and that was kind of the end of my year, and I waited for this tour to start so I could come out and visit with you all again. And so with that, I leave you, and I bid you good night, and thank you so much for coming to see me again. Thanks. Look at you. See ya. Thank you very much, everybody. It's very nice to see all of you again. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Now go get me some crack.